Have you heard of the Green Corridor? Put your thinking cap on.
आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनकही कहानियाँ। आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनसुनी कहानियाँ। एक नई दुनिया की आवाज़ आपकी आवाज़, विज्ञान की आवाज़ की आवाज़।
You have clicked the play button to listen to our Vigyan Ki Awaaz podcast, which is a part of the popularization of the STEM series, catalyzed and supported by the National Council for Science and Technology Communication, produced by Media for Community Foundation, content support by Kadalosai FM 90.4 Community Radio, hosted by V. Krishnan. Coming back to my question, have you heard of the Green Corridor? The Green Corridor was first used by Chennai when an ambulance carried a heart to save the life of a 21-year-old and covered a distance of 12 kilometers in just 14 minutes. This, in normal traffic conditions, generally takes more than 45 minutes. Surely, it's not easy to handle such medical emergencies. So, what is a Green Corridor? A Green Corridor is a special route making the travel of the hospital where an organ is harvested to the hospital where it is to be transplanted in traffic-free conditions. Obviously, time is of the essence here. The challenge is that organs have a short preservation time and they should reach their destination in the shortest possible time. How do they manage this? What technology works behind this great cause? This episode is going to be another super interesting, engaging and gripping one. So sharpen your ears to listen to Dr. Kumar, a researcher in the area of cardiopulmonary devices at Sri DrVinod Institute for Medical Sciences and Technology.
Hi, I'm Vinod Kumar, currently working in the DrVinod Institute for Medical Science and Technology in the Biomedical Technology wing as an engineer G. Basically, my area of work in this institute is development and evaluation of medical devices, especially in the area of cardiopulmonary devices. That is, medical devices which are supporting or replacing the functions of natural heart and lungs and associated areas. And coming to my academic background, I am a biomedical engineer by training, both graduation and post-graduation in the area of biomedical engineering. Basically, after completing engineering, we wanted to work in the area of medical devices or biomedical engineering itself. That is how we searched for the openings in medical devices. And Sri DrVinod was the only institute back then who was working in the area of biomedical engineering. Other than private companies who are doing only servicing kind of job or those kind of only selling and servicing equipment, but something to do on hardcore research, Sri DrVinod was the only research institute at that time. Even now it is so. That's how I landed up in this job.
His present areas of research.
As I was just mentioned, my area of work is development and evaluation of medical devices in cardiopulmonary side, that is heart and lungs of the patient. Okay, so I was fortunate to have involved in various devices development like membrane oxygenators, that is artificial lungs, hemoconcentrators, another device used for cardiac surgery, then blood pumps for extracorporeal cardiopulmonary bypass, ventricular assist devices. These are all the devices which I was able to participate in this institute. And at present, I am working on one product called an organ transportation system, we can say. A system which helps to transport organs of a donor to take from the donor's, where the donor is admitted in the hospital to the hospital where the recipient patient is admitted. So a system which can help to transport. So coming to the unmet clinical need, or why do we need this device? Even day before yesterday, there was a news in Kerala newspapers that one helicopter which was available in the state was called from the northern part of the state to Trivandrum to transport one donor heart from Trivandrum to Cochin. So that involves a lot of cost, infrastructure, and it also involves the so much of resources of the state. Another option is one option is this airlifting. A second option is either to create a green corridor, like from Trivandrum to Cochin, a green corridor has to be created in the road, and an ambulance has to go in full speed to take this organ to Cochin, so that we can get the organ to the donor in 4 hours time. So this 4 to 6 hours window is the time available with the present technology of organ transportation. Like organs are transported always in a lower temperature, cool down state. Okay, when the organs are cooled down, we can preserve it for a longer time. So even if you cool it down for some time, there will be deterioration, or the properties of the organ will start slowly losing. So after 6 hours, if the doctor is able to transplant this organ in a donor, it may not survive. So we may not get the actual clinical benefit because the organ has already started deteriorating its properties. So it has to be reaching before 4 hours. So that is why we are either airlifting or creating a green corridor. So there are some of the organ systems available abroad in some of the developed countries like United States or Europe. Certain systems are available where the organ can be put in a system where it will give the blood supply, it will give all the required environment for the organ, so that the organ can survive for 8 hours or 12 hours duration, so that you get a more time for transportation. So this green corridor or airlifting is not required if the distance is shorter. Another advantage is such a country like India, where the geographic diversity, now it's not possible to take an organ from a state of Kerala to Madhya Pradesh, because it takes such a long time. Even by air, it takes more than 3 to 4 hours. So if we can have a system where we can preserve the organ for 8 hours or 12 hours, then we will be able to expand this area. Like the organ availability in the country itself will improve a lot. So that is why we started thinking in that direction. We are working currently on developing such a device.
For biomedical technology research, the See, Think, Care, Do strategy works differently. It works like this: see, care, think, and then do. That is, first you see a problem, then care about the methods and challenges. After that, analyze how to find a solution, and then start your research and development for the same. Mr. Vinod Kumar shares the challenges faced earlier and now while transporting organs, and how it will be useful for the common man.
How we can transport the organs faster. So the present system, or what was being done in the past, is called hypothermic transportation, or transportation at a reduced temperature by packing it in an ice box and sending it. So that is a current practice followed in India, because organ care systems are not available in India as such. With this current development project, which we are developing a device for transportation of the organ, we are aiming to increase the time of this 4 hours to 6 to 8 hours at least, so that the organ can be transported at a much lower cost. Now the cost of air has to be borne by the government, and every time the government may not be able to support, because it takes some time to move the government mechanism, machinery, and get the sufficient funding or air facility for air transport or green corridor. By having such a system where the organ can be preserved for a longer time, 6 to 8 hours, so this more people will be able to access the donor organs. So that's what we are planning to get. Like more people will get access at a much cheaper cost also. Like the cost of air transport or chartered flight or green corridor can be reduced. So that way the cost of transporting the organs is also lesser. That is what we are aiming at. So that's the benefit we are expecting to the common people.
After listening to this interesting and heartfelt talk, do you feel like donating your organs? At the end of this episode, I will share a website address. Just browse through it, read the procedures, and then declare your willingness by signing a form. Okay? Now I'm curious to know, as a researcher in this area of research, what Mr. Vinod Kumar is expecting the development to be.
Currently, we are in an era where maximum number of organs are being donated now. Skin is donated, hand, and different organs can be donated. Different organs, it's not only the heart or liver, kidney, even intestines, or even the hand, leg, all sorts of organs are being transplanted now. So the future I see is the system. Currently, we are working on a system where we can support only the heart, or certain people are having developed system which can support the lungs. It's a much complex thing. And liver, it's again more complex, because liver has different types of blood flow into it. The different types of blood is coming from the intestine. With the the intestine absorbs the nutrients which is from the digested food, that it transported to liver through one side. Other side, the other blood enters, which takes oxygenated blood, which gives oxygenated blood supply to the lungs, to the liver. So there are different blood supplies available to the liver, and then the liver creates different products, bile juice and all that. So this bile is generated by the liver. So the system for transporting liver should have all these accessories, like everything which the natural liver is having. So that kind of a system where different systems for different organs, for almost all organs. So that's what we are planning. In the future, we should be having different types of transportation systems for each and every organ which we will be able to harvest out of a donor's body.
You are listening to this Vigyan Ki Awaaz podcast, which is a part of the popularization of the STEM series, catalyzed and supported by the National Council for Science and Technology Communication, produced by Media for Community Foundation, content support by Kadalosai FM 90.4 Community Radio, and hosted by V. Krishnan. Today, we are listening to Mr. Vinod Kumar, engineer at the Biomedical Technology Wing, Sri DrVinod Institute for Medical Sciences and Technology. Here he speaks about the rank of our nation in his field of research.
In this particular area, as such, there is no Indian product available. There is no Indian product available for this particular application as such. I think there is only one or two imported systems available all across India. There is only one or two systems available as imported as of now. It's not a popular or not a commonly available thing in Indian situation. And to my knowledge, there are not many are working also to develop such a device in India. So it's in the development phase in India, I can say. But there are we can say competitors, or there are already some of one or two devices available in the world. So one company called Transmedics, they are the only company at the moment who is manufacturing and marketing it in a larger scale.
Now let's hear him talk about how Indian industry is associated with organ care transportation system technology development.
Currently, we don't have any industrial partner in this particular project. But in the past, since Suchitra's experience, we usually develop a technology, we'll make the technology to a certain level. Only then we will usually approach the industries. Usually we always have got technology collaborators for almost all the projects. So here also we are planning to take the same strategy. Although it is better to have an industry in the beginning itself, but getting the industry at a very beginning stage is a difficult process in India as of now. So we'll be getting the industries in a later stage. So there are certain industries working in India who will be able to support such a product.
That's great to know, sir. Now please summarize your research publications and patents.
Currently, at present, I hold 8 Indian patents granted on different technologies which was developed, and 6 patents are Indian patents are under different stages of processing. There are 3 design registrations also. I'm part of it. Then coming to the papers published, I have almost 3 papers published in peer-reviewed journals and some other conference publications.
To have a deeper understanding on what kind of boxes are available to transfer the organs and how new developments are taking place, may I ask Dr. Vinod Kumar to explain the process, please?
So at present, the organs are transported in an icebox kind of a concept. Like organs are covered in specific wrapping materials, it's wrapped, and then it is transported in an ice box containing ice, significantly lower temperature, so that the deterioration of the organ is not significant. By this research, we are aiming to develop a system which will have blood supply and other nutrient supply, so that this organ will have an artificial body where this organ can survive for 6 to 8 hours. So that is our aim. Like the system which we are developing should behave like an artificial body for this particular organ. So this body should support this organ whichever way the natural body is associated with this organ. Like if it's a heart, whatever blood is being pumped out by the heart should be going, so the blood should come back to the heart, and the heart muscle should get blood supply. All these things should be maintained by this system. If you are talking about the liver should get two types of blood supply. One is directly oxygenated blood directly from the heart. Second is blood supply which is coming from the intestine and all, which is having nutrients which is absorbed from the digestive food. So this artificial body in that case should provide two types of blood supply. One is nutrient rich supply from, like similar to the liver. Another one, oxygenated blood directly coming from the heart. So these two types of blood supply should be provided, and there should be system to drain the bile which is generated by the liver. So this kind of system should be there. So we need to have an artificial body for this organ, or it can be attached and then transported. So that's what our aim is. So present is icebox. The future is like an artificial body for the organ. That's what the aim is.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your experiences and knowledge.
One more thing, I want to request all the audiences to give consent for organ donation, or if at all, if something bad happens to you or some of your relatives, we should be willing to donate the organs, because there are a lot of requirement of organs in the country, and we are not able to meet that with donor organs. So more and more people should come and donate organs. That is one side of it. Second side is a big thanks to the DST and NCST for coming up with such an idea where the scientists can express what they are doing with the support of the government to the public, and what the public getting out of the work which we are doing.
And thank you for sharing your insights about organ donation. Dear listeners, I must tell you at this point that I have already pledged my organs for donation. As I mentioned in the beginning of the podcast, if you would like to donate your organs and save lives, please visit the website www.noto.abdm.gov.in. Let me repeat, www.noto.abdm.gov.in. Thank you for listening to Vigyan Ki Awaaz podcasts, which are a part of the popularization of STEM series, catalyzed and supported by National Council for Science and Technology Communication, produced by Media for Community Foundation, content support by Kadalosai FM 90.4 Community Radio, and hosted by V. Krishnan. Bye for now. Meet you in the next episode. Take care.